Hello everyone, my name is Gracian and welcome to a new Against the Storm series. So if you haven't seen my first series, it was a tutorial and introduction series where I go very in-depth about all the mechanics of the game, the theme, how to play, how to sort of strategize around building your town. This playthrough is just going to be a little bit more just gameplay. It's going to be kind of chill and relaxed. I am going to play on a little bit of a higher difficulty and show off the Blight Rot mechanic. But other than that, it won't be a whole lot of new stuff, so it's just going to be sort of a chill viewing experience. Just put it on your other monitor while you're doing something. It'll be perfect for that. So let's get into it. I have quite a number of the meta progression upgrades by this point, so let's go on in there and take a look. Again, there will be some spoilers, so watch out for that if you don't want to know what's in the tree. I'm not going to go over all of it, but just want to show that I'm about this far up the tree at this point. I tend to not have enough food stockpiles, and I have tons of machinery and artifacts, so I'm trying to focus on getting more of the actual food and not the special resources right now. I'm going to need a lot of it. Like up here, I need 130. Let's head on over to the map. Now in this particular version of the world, I have moved all the way down here, but there's nothing exciting over here, and so what I'm really interested in is as much food as possible. You can see I'm getting 70 in all of these spots, but right here I can get 80 if I go right next to this fertile grounds. So I can either do Royal Woodlands, but I did that for my introductory playthrough, or I can do the marshlands. So I'll go ahead and do this one just so you can see a different type of biome if you haven't already played. This one will have a small amount of fertile soil, but we have the modifier of fertile grounds. Glades have an increased chance of including fertile soil, so we'll probably be a little bit closer to medium amount of fertile soil. So farming will be an option. With that in mind, I'll probably just start with humans and roll the dice. I definitely want to make sure I get beavers, so I'd like to keep 2 empty slots. So I'm just going to take humans at first. Modifiers, because I'm on veteran now instead of pioneer, we now have blight rot and corruption. We'll talk about that when it starts happening, probably not for the first episode or two. We have the gathering knowledge. People will gather faster. For the more people in gathering camps, the faster everybody gathers, so that's nice. And we have giant organisms. In the forbidden glades, the most difficult ones, there will be these really big organisms like a giant wheat plant or a giant mushroom, and they'll have like 1,000 charges of food, enough to last the whole game. So that's really interesting. Our trees are actually mushroom trees in this biome. It's very interesting. They actually come, mushrooms and leather will come out of the trees. Natural resources, it looks like we have meat, insects, eggs. You know what? I'm actually going to go back and select this. If we're going to be having a meat-based playthrough, we're going to want lizards in our camp, so I'll go ahead and grab that. We've got coal, that'll be good. Grain, okay. I can also take a couple of different blueprints now. I can take the small farm, which I think I'll take if we've got an increased chance of getting fertile soil. I'll chew up 5 of our points, which is a lot, but I do like having that. Herbs, berries, and mushrooms. It's just the mushrooms. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pull the small farm in there, and we get 1 fewer point on this difficulty. See if I go to Pioneer, I actually have another embark point. So let's head back over to Veteran. We also only have 1 good thing and 4 bad things instead of 2 and 3. It's definitely harder. And then we get to pull in 1 more point worth of stuff. So I'm just going to grab food, and it's the most I can get is right here with the 42. So let's grab that one. Let's name our settlement. We'll call this Chill Playthrough. All right, embark. All right, so our modifiers, you can see we got a lot of negatives here. Our good one is Strange Visions. Villagers that have housing have a 20% chance to double their yield with each production cycle. So that means we're going to want to get basic housing up as quickly as possible, just because they're going to get a really good bonus during drizzle from that. During the storm, we will have, of course, the regular storm effect. We have flooded roads. Travel cost of trade routes increases, so we're going to want to not do trading during the storm. Rotten rain. Living matter will spawn every 70 seconds. That one's not too bad. The living matter gives an absurd amount of resources when you solve it for some reason. Piercing winds. Fuel efficiency is 200% lower, so we're going to want to make sure we get some coal up and going because the wood's going to burn through very quickly with this modifier. And Eclipse villagers take 200% longer breaks if they don't have services ×2. That's at Hostility 6, which I hope to not get to before we win the game. Alright, so let's take a look at our glade options. We've got... Usually I like to scope out where I'm going to put my industry area. Try to find a nice open area, so it'll probably be over here. So probably year 2 I'll open this up. Maybe year 3. At the start, we're going to build woodcutter camp. So let's start over here. Right there. And right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set the woodcutters camp to avoid glades except marked. So that means they will not cut down a tree if it would open a glade unless I specifically tell them to, like that. So that's really nice. They'll clear out basically all the trees around them except for like a thin line of trees along the glades, and then when I'm ready I can just mark a single tree. I'll go in and grab that. And let's see, we have eggs, so we can go ahead and build the scavengers camp, and we have meat, but we don't have the trappers camp. So we're going to want to get the trappers camp from a blueprint if we can. Let's go ahead and get the scavengers camp right away. Unpause. Get everybody going. We don't have any stone, but as soon as we find some, we'll pave the roads and set up the roads around the hearth here. I usually just go ahead and set up the initial road system like this because I always just basically use the same pattern. Make things nice and easy for the villagers. Okay, so everybody's filled up. Let's go ahead and get trees going as quickly as possible. I'll leave one villager free for building. Skewers are pretty popular with... Ooh, we have a kiln though. The kiln can also make bricks, but not super efficiently. Here we have the brickyard. I love the brickyard actually because pottery, you can put alcohol in the pottery. Or wine, so whatever you want to make for your villagers. Let's take a look at their needs. They want leisure. The lizards don't care about drinking things, so we don't need wine or beer for them, but we do need it for beer for humans. I do have the small farm, so I'm going to have grain, so all I need is a way to make ale now. Water skins are also pretty useful. You can put alcohol in there, and this would also give us a way to make fabric. So for me, it's between the leather worker and the brickyard. Probably going to use more bricks than I am fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and take the brickyard. I do like the brickyard. Foragers camp, herb garden, plantation, explorers. An explorer's lodge is pretty nice. This is good for lizards. They like the training, and I think who likes education? Do people like education? No, they like religion and drinking. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's wait on that one. Might wait and see who our third type of villager is before we make any decisions on that. You can see we have the blight rot post, the blight post here now, and the hydrant, our new buildings we have on this difficulty because we're going to start getting this corruption, and if it fills up we lose 3 villagers, so we have to be careful. Okay, here we go. Global resolve goes up for every 3 levels of standing with other settlements. Gain an ancient tablet for every 2 completed glade events. +2 to herbs production. Additional yield from gathering, farming, or production. We don't gather herbs. I could grab the herb garden. That is an option. +2 to herbs is a lot. That would be a lot of herbs from the plantation. I think I might go that way. I usually diversify my farms a little bit, and if we have enough fertile soil, we'll pick a plantation. So let's go ahead and get an herb garden. Lumber mill, very important. So is the tinkerer actually. But I'm going to go ahead and get the lumber mill because planks are by far the most important resource in this game. If you have 2 beavers in a lumber mill producing planks, they will not outpace your need for it eventually. It's crazy how many planks you need. Just keep an eye on our fuel. Might go ahead and tell them to stop using the coal because it is a crafting resource. Same with the oil. Just burn the logs until we get some sort of other fuel source. Some orders, complete glade events. Tools and planks would be very good. But this won't happen right away. Or just turn in 35 wood. I'd rather wait and get the better reward. Packs of goods. +1 to fabric production and grain production. We're going to be doing that, so let's grab that one, even though that'll take a bit as well. And here's have a small farm and have these things and more grain. Yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to really go deep into the farming here. Hopefully the small amount of fertile soil isn't an issue, because we do have an increased chance of finding it, which is from the fertile grounds, plus 60%. I don't know if that's 60% of this value or 60% of some other value that I don't know how that works exactly. All right, they're going to be working away for a bit, so I'm probably just going to pause. All right, we've pushed into one small glade here. We have some coal, which is good, insects and roots. That's actually a fair amount of good resources in here. I do open a couple of small glades, usually early. I probably should have avoided getting this hostility, but it's okay, we'll survive. You get hostility by opening up glades. The Queen's impatience went up a notch, so it lowered her hostility, which is pretty funny. If we stay just like this, we won't be at level 1, and then we'll actually not need any more resolve to make it through. See, our builder is done, so we're going to go ahead and have that builder start making a few basic shelters. Looks like we need 3 at this time. May or may not replace those with advanced housing at some point later on. See, they're chopping down these cool mushroom trees. Some of them are pretty nasty looking, like these ones here. It's very weird. They come with mushrooms, 15% chance of mushrooms and a 5% chance of leather. I love the different biomes and how the glades look like they've got like a fungus network sort of spread over them, concealing it with this like glow in the background. Very cool. This biome is very, very cool. It's not even my favorite biome. How are we doing on the hearth here? Once we get some people housed, I might also set up some decorations back here. Might just plop a park in here somewhere. That'll get our requirement for decoration up. Once we get 8 people housed and our garden built, this will upgrade to a new level, which will lower our hostility. I think it's 50 points. Just kind of getting all this space around this hearth. I really need all of this cleared out because I'll use up most of this space by the end. Also got to get all this space around the resources cleared out so I have room for housing and production buildings. Should probably start working towards this way over here. Really turn that in. You gotta. One thing I didn't talk about in my tutorial series was if anyone is working or transporting goods and you move the building, that's lost, which is really unfortunate. I hope they patch that at some point so that they'll continue to deliver. But if somebody's, say, delivering a pack of 5 wood to the warehouse and you move the building, that wood is lost for some reason. It's quite strange. Even if you move the building like 1 tile, it's just the act of moving the building tends to make them lose everything they're working on, which is very unfortunate. So you got to watch out for that. It's not something I used to pay attention to, and I will admit that it's not a micromanagey thing that I want to deal with, but it's in the game as of right now, so be aware of that. Everybody's working faster because there are people gathering, which is really nice. The woodcutters' camps count as gathering stations. Wood is going up, which is awesome, even though we're spending it quite quickly here. We've entered the stormy season. We should only have plus or minus 4 here. Yeah, everybody's fine. Even if we had a level 1 hostility, we'd be okay. Start working on this. Go all the way to the edge. Wait till the end of the storm, then we'll open up this other small glade, see what resources. Hopefully we'll find a farm soon. Because we could get a farm set up in an herb garden very early and start getting our crafting ingredients for better foods. Right now they're just consuming random mushrooms and roots that they find on the ground. Go ahead and move this building over to here so they can reach both the eggs and the roots, and I won't have to move this building for a long time. Keep our builder busy here. Oh, we've got an upgrade. There's our park is done. Add some decoration, so now we have a +2 to global resolve, my bad. Ancient Hearth's resistance to corruption is increased, so we'll talk about that. We're not producing blight rot yet because we don't have like production buildings, we just have gathering camps. Those don't do it, but things in here like lumber mills, mines, brickyards, they're going to produce this corruption, and it's a very interesting mechanic. It actually makes your workers better until it kills them. Okay, so housing, so now they are focused. 20% chance of doubling their yield, so let's chop down this last tree. Get into that. Oh, we're too far away. I'm gonna wait for them to take that stuff back. And there we go. Let's just move them a little closer. Grab our new people. Looks like we're not seeing our third race yet. So should we get probably more people than lizards, because the people are good at farming. This comes with some coal. Let's grab that. And then over here, I'm going to go ahead and break into this small glade and see what else we have. +1 global resolve for every 2 impatience points. This +1 to wood production, lose all stored fuel. It's not bad. In the long term, that would probably be very useful. But I think I usually don't have trouble with the wood, especially if we have efficient plank production. Let's go with the +1 global resolve for every 2 impatience points. That just makes life easier as she gets more upset with us. Alright, what do we have here? Let's pause. We have mushrooms, stone, roots, coal, copper, fertile soil. Excellent. Oh my god, an herb garden. If we can turn this into a hallowed herb garden, it produces extremely efficient roots, herbs, and berries. This building is amazing. It's tough to work on it because you you get minus global resolve every minute while you're working on it, and on the higher difficulty, these events take longer to do. So you can get quite a big stack. I was playing last night and I had you get -5 to global resolve for every 5 amber in your stores, and I had like 60 amber in my store, so all of my factions, their resolve was like -22. So I lost like 7 people from abandoning me while I was working on that event, but it was worth it for the reward. What else do we have here? Harmony Spirit Altar. So species become less resilient. Resolve drops faster while working on this. That's not so bad. If we convert it, oops. If we convert it, we get 2 to global resolve. We definitely want that. And we can open this up with coal. We'll use that. We want to get this done immediately. And what do we have over here? Eggs and insects. Okay, more of our meat production foods. We'll be able to make jerkies and pies and stuff out of that. And we also want this done. Now, this takes more complicated ingredients, so we're going to have to wait till we get planks. And we'll make our production area over here. In the meantime, we can start producing, like building this area up. So what I like to do, I'm sure if you saw my tutorial series you know this, but I like to check the edge of the hearth, and then I'll basically make a plus sign of roads, and then I'll put like a warehouse in the middle, and then all my production buildings around it, so that everyone only has to walk maybe 5-6 tiles at most to get to the warehouse. So I'll probably, these are stone deposits, I'll probably go ahead and plop my warehouse down here. It'll be a while before that gets built because we don't have bricks or fabric, so I'll turn the priority down on that. And I want the lumber mill up quickly. So in order to build any of these things, we're going to need bricks and fabric. So go ahead and I might hang on a second. I'm going to cancel this because this building is going to be like, you can't move this. So we'll make the plus right here, and we'll put the warehouse right here. And we're also going to need a crude workstation, and we're going to put that over here for now so they don't have to walk. And we want that a bit faster than other things. Looks like we need a little bit more housing as well. Let's just grab a basic shelter. Probably build another one just so we don't have to worry about the next group of people. 2 builders right now, so we'll plop another person into the scavengers camp. The next level will require planks for these decorations, so we're not going to be able to get that for a bit. Scouts are idle. My bad. Investigate. There we go. So that'll be done in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so we will be done in clearance, but before the storm, which is important. We'll have really efficient plank production with this lumber mill, so this will be pretty cheap to make. This is only like 20 wood. We've got new orders here to pick from. Have an artisan and barrels. Or have oil and flour. Now, oil we can make out of, like, meat. Butcher press or druid's hut. We can also buy this. This is an easier one to do. Farmers can carry more items. Yeah, pigment's not something I'm planning on doing right now. I don't have harpies, so let's go with this one. And then here's the same one. Or have lizard resolve. Have at least 8 lizards and have their resolve at 18. Now that's tough, but we get the butcher out of this for free. And meat production. Ooh, I say we work on that one. Hopefully as soon as possible. We need more lizards and we need 3 more points of resolve because then we can boost them up. We can do that. We can do that. We'll build some special housing for them. We'll get the workstation going. So let me stop and get somebody in here. We need 2 fabric and 2 bricks. We have no stone or clay. So we're quite a bit behind here on some of these things. So we need stone production ASAP. Once we get this done, we'll have these 2 workers available again. This area is nice and cleared out. Should probably move this guy. I've got somebody transporting. I'll wait till they're done. There we go. And then let's get this area cleared out down here. Some buildings you can rotate with R just by pressing R without even clicking on it, which is a nice little feature they added. I don't think it messes up their production. No, it doesn't. Excellent. Really desperate for builders and extra workers right now. So I could take somebody out of this food. I might do that after you're done carrying. Okay, let's get a human free to help build. We need these houses. We need the stone up, and then somebody's gonna have to work it. We need to get the stone so we can make 2 bricks and 2 cloth, and then we can make the lumber mill, then we can make our planks, and then we can restore our herb garden. Let's get you over here. We're going to need all of this area cleared out for the production. And this is a good amount of space now. I also want that trapper's camp soon. So we need somebody making stone. I might put both people in there. Alright, so they're going to be working on that for a bit, but for now I need to end the episode because we are all out of time. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Again, this is just going to be a very chill playthrough on a little bit higher difficulty, so in an episode or 2 I'll be able to start talking about the blight rot and show you what it looks like and how to deal with it. It's pretty cool. It's actually quite fun. It involves flamethrowers. So if you've enjoyed my other series or you're enjoying this one, please like and subscribe and come on back for the next episodes. I want to thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.